So normally we'd be inside the test centre car park, but right now they're doing refurbishment there. But we're gonna begin on the main road now, and I'm gonna do my checks, make sure it's nice and safe. I can see a nice big gap. I'm gonna check over my right shoulder. I put a signal on because there's lots of people around here. And then once I see it's clear, I can start moving off, bringing the clutch up smoothly. See the light is still green, and then change to second, check my mirrors, make sure that it's still safe. I'm trying to go through here slowly because there's lots going on. I'm going to take the next left. So center mirror, left mirror, signal left. I'm going to ease off the gas, and I can see the speed limit there is 20 miles an hour as I turn into this road. Check my mirror before I turn, cancel my signal, and carry on. So bearing in mind it's 20 miles per hour, so I'm just going to keep it nice and slow. Lots of reminders on the floor as well, reminding you of how fast you can actually drive here as well. And you see a lot of learners down here because near the test centre, so I expect to see a lot of learners. We're going to pull over on the left in a safe place, and because I want to pull over just after the junction, I'm going to signal after I go past it, or as I'm going past it. So like now, mirror signal, start braking gently, clutch down all the way, and then just nice and smoothly come to a stop. No harsh braking, and then handbrake on, neutral. Bring my clutch up smoothly and then cancel my signal. Then now the examiner will tell you to drive on again. So I can see there's cars coming down the road there. I'm going to stop preparing anyway, because once I see a nice gap I want to go for it. So I'll go into first gear. Or if you want to, you can wait for a bigger gap. Let's say you know that there's cars coming and you're a bit more experienced. You can leave it in neutral. And then once you see a nice gap, you can get the car ready. So like after that cyclist, I think it's going to be a nice gap, so I'm going to start preparing the car. So I get into first gear, do my checks. Once this person go past, check over my right shoulder, signal, check in the mirror before I come out, and then right shoulder again as I come out, just to make sure it's really safe. Into second. Got the cyclist in front of us there. I'm going to keep a nice distance between me and him so I don't get too close to him. Going into a bend, so just checking my mirror, and then easing off the gas slightly as well, because I don't want to be zooming into this bend here. I want to go in there nicely and controlled. So it looks like the time when kids are coming out of school, so it's going to be a bit busy. There's a car creeping out the junction there, but he's got to wait for me. So, but if he didn't, I could actually just stop there. But just expect them to stop because they can see. At the end here, we're going to be turning right, so I'm going to check my center, right mirror, signal right around here. So turning right is usually really difficult, especially if you're turning into a main road. So I'm just gonna wait for a nice gap. So right now it's still quite busy because I've got a few cars ahead of me. There's also a zebra crossing in front of me as well, so I need to be thinking about that before I actually get to the junction. If I can, I'll avoid stopping on the zebra crossing. But if the zebra crossing was right by the giveaway line, then I could stop over it. But if it's quite far back, I should leave it clear. Then once I see a gap in front of the zebra crossing, then I can go in front and wait there. So like now, for instance, you see the blue van is gonna move. Yeah, then I can go into that space. Position myself this way. Making eye contact. This driver saying you can go. If you don't feel comfortable going at that stage, don't go. But I was comfortable enough to get the car moving in time and safely. But if you're not ready to go, just wait for another gap. Still 20 miles an hour. So remember, look out for lots of signs. If you're not used to looking for speed limit signs, you're gonna miss them. So keep looking out for speed limit signs, and even on the floor, on the posts, insects or bees, or those kind of things, don't panic when something comes in your car. I've seen people lose their mind when a bee goes in the car. You just want to pull over safely and then deal with it. Don't start panicking. You don't want to crash because of a bee. So it looks like there's quite a lot of traffic up ahead. Check this right mirror because I need to go a bit more towards the left. Sorry, the left mirror. So I need to go a bit more left. So I'm just in second right now in the car. I'm not using any gas, but the car's moving by itself, but it's starting to rumble a little bit, so I'm going to use first gear. Very gently braking. In a lot of cars, you hardly need to touch the brake at slow speeds. The faster you're going, the harder you need to brake to bring the speed down. But with these kind of slow speeds, just touching the brake a little bit will make it start to work. Then if you feel your leg getting tired, especially the clutch leg, you can go into neutral and then come off the clutch and rest your feet. You can even wiggle your toes a little bit just to stretch them out. And you see the car's moving right now because I've got no brake on, and it's on a downhill slope. That's not so terrible because that's where I want the car to go anyway. But if we were on an uphill slope, I'd have to make sure I've got my handbrake on or keep my foot on the brake so that it doesn't roll backwards. So it's also good to look at a few cars ahead. I can see there's lots of cars ahead of us. Big white van up there, and they're starting to move forward a tiny bit, and then there's cars turning into the side road over there, and no one's moving anywhere because there's traffic up there. Then the lights are changing, so I'm just going to go into neutral, handbrake on, because I know for now no one's going to move anywhere. So now that the lights are starting to change, I can start getting ready. Check mirrors, make sure there's no one next to me as I move. So there is a car indicating to turn, but I have priority, so they have to wait for us. Keep an eye on this crossing, make sure that it's still green for one, and also make sure I've got space to go beyond it. Because if that car had stopped near the crossing, I'll stop behind the crossing so I don't block the pedestrian crossing when I come to a full stop. If you're not good at telling who's got priority, start saying out loud every time you get into a situation. So when you get to a junction and you know you have priority, say it out loud. Say, I have priority, I have priority, so that you kind of reinforce it in your head. And the more you do that, it starts to get easier, so you don't get confused in situations. So I can see the cars up ahead starting to get ready to move, and I can get ready. Gear, biting point, handbrake, gas. So I'm going straight at these lights. So I want to make sure I can see. There's no signs at the moment telling me that the left is only for turning left. So that means potentially I can go straight in this lane. I can see on the floor as well, it says straight is this lane. And also I saw the signs for 30 miles per hour. There's one there and one there. So sometimes the 30 mile an hour is just for this section and maybe onto the dual carriageway. So if I'm going straight across, I'm going to check again as I go across to make sure that it's still 30, because it might be a different speed limit over there. Once you go straight, and then you see the signs have changed to 20. Before, on the other side it was 30, but on this side it was 20 miles per hour. And just the reason why there was lots of traffic because of the temporary light up there. So I'm going to be ready for that as well. Before the temporary light, there's also a pedestrian crossing. At the moment, there's no one near it. When someone's near it, you expect it to change to red, but if there's no one near it, it might just stay green. But you never know, sometimes it might change because someone might have pressed it and left it. And because it's the temporary light up there, I don't want to block this junction. Temporary lights stay red for a long time sometimes. So to avoid blocking or causing congestion, I will make sure that I keep this section here clear so that people can turn into there and they can also come out of there as well. If you're in like reasonably moving, or if you're in traffic that's moving at a normal pace, I wouldn't worry too much about blocking junctions, but when there's lots of traffic and it's not moving for a long time, it's something for you to think about. So again, keeping an eye on that pedestrian crossing. Also there's a cyclist behind me. Check my right mirror to go over towards the right. And then check my left mirror to go over towards the left. Still 20 miles per hour. Roundabout coming up here. I'm going to go left for the roundabout. So mirror, signal left. There's nothing coming from the right hand side of me, so I can just make my turn. Make sure I check again anyway, just in case. Straight into a meeting situation, just reduce my speed a bit and then check my right. Now this road bends towards the right, I'm just going to follow it that way. No need for a signal because the road goes that way anyway. So if the road bends towards the right, you don't need to signal right to go that way because everyone expects you to go that way anyway. I'm going to pull over on the left in a safe place, so mirror. I'll signal like around here so people don't think I'm turning in there. Stop just like that. Neutral, handbrake. So you notice I went neutral and then handbrake before I went handbrake then neutral. Don't stress yourself too much about what order you do it in. As long as the car's secured and doesn't move around when you don't want it to, it's fine. Okay, we're going to drive on again. So clutch down into gear 1. Do my checks. I don't need to check the left side. It's just a habit that I'm doing this, but you don't need to do it. You can just check from this side, the front, and then over your right side. I'll signal because there are people near me. Because there's this car coming towards me, I'm not going to move out right now. There's not much space here between us and them. If there was a wider road, I would have done it. But because it's one lane almost, I'm just going to wait for them to go past first. That way, I can go straight into this bit and not worry about them too much. Road bends towards the left. And does it. Situation here. I'm just stretching over a bit just so I can see better. And we've got a sign for a mini roundabout coming up. There's a sign left here. So mirror, signal left. So there's no white marking here, but it is a roundabout because of that sign that I saw. So I'm going to look out for the traffic coming from the right hand side. And this person is stopping, but there's a motorbike going. Then I can nip in just like this. So here I'm not blocking anybody. I'm not gonna. It's fine to do it like this because there's a nice space there anyway, and I wasn't gonna block anybody. Cancel my signal. If you're gonna go into position yourself in a roundabout in a way that's gonna block people, then you shouldn't do it. But if you're not blocking anybody, it's fine. Check my mirrors. Blind spot for any motorbikes. Slow. There's lots of traffic here. brakes left. So let's deal with this pedestrian first. So mirror, signal left. It's pretty nice and slow. Turn. Again, checking the speed, still 20 miles per hour. Give it a second. Checking with my left. You notice every time I move somewhere, I'll always check my mirror first. That's because I've trained myself before I turn the wheel, check that side. So before I went to the right, I'll check that side because of things like this. You don't want to miss motorbikes going past you, other vehicles going past you, cyclists. Yeah. That way, if you train yourself to check first, you can't miss anything. I can see a sign for 30 coming up. Very nice and slow. Even though it says 30, look, it's on a bend here. We've got cars parked on both sides. I don't want to go too fast straight away, but I can speed up a little bit. Temporary light up ahead. I'm just going to approach it slowly, reducing my speed from early. The mistake a lot of learners make is they don't reduce the speed early enough. They wait until they get there, then they slam on their brakes too hard. But you notice that I reduce my speed from early on, so that way when I get here, I'm already going slow and I don't need to bang on my brake. It's nice and smooth. I'm going to turn right here at the end. So now the light's gone to green. Handbrake off. Smoothly off the clutch. So I'm just going to, even though we've got a green light, I'm just going to be careful here because some people don't follow it. When the road here bends towards the left immediately, so we're going to go around that way. No need for a signal because the road goes that way anyway. The last sign that I saw was for 30 miles per hour. And I'm not seeing any signs saying 20 around here, so I'm just going to keep it thinking that it's 30 miles per hour. Give that guy a bit of space. So you notice I gave that van a bit of space because I had lots of space and they didn't have much space to go past the parked car. The end of this road I'm going to be turning right, and you notice is I don't know if you can see in the video, but it's downhill right now. And if I come off the brake, you see the car rolls forward, so I can just keep it in first gear and just use the clutch to move the car forward a bit and then down again, and then use the brakes to control how fast I go down the hill. So mirror, signal right. There's traffic building up in that lane over there. So I'm just going to be extra careful before I come out because there's cars and buses coming from this side too. I want to make sure I can make the turn without blocking that lane here. Checking both sides, I can see a nice big gap on that side over there. This car's turning, and there's also nothing else coming from this way, so then I can make my turn. Triple checking as I do that as well. Sometimes you might miss something, so checking again is not a bad idea. Yeah, sometimes you might miss something, and then if you react before the examiner reacts, you can still pass. But if you miss something that because you didn't double check or you didn't triple check maybe, then the examiner might have to intervene and then you fail. But even after your test as well, triple checking and double checking is really good because it allows you to see things that you might have missed. So I would recommend doing that. moving, the light has gone green, but it's going to red straight away. I'm going to turn left at the end here, so I'm just going to keep towards the left side. Check my mirror as well. Secure the car. So in this stop-start traffic, you can keep your car in gear if you really want to, or you can keep it neutral if you're comfortable doing that. So especially if there are a few cars in front of you by the lights, that'll give you enough time to get the car ready. So like now, I can see the light changing, but watch how long it takes me to actually move, because the cars in front have to move first. So that'll give you enough time to get the car into gear, get ready, and then move. Going left here. You see this light is very quick, so be careful not to follow the car in front of you, because they might go through when the light is changing to amber, and if you're not paying attention, you can easily go through a red light. Because I'm the first person at the traffic lights now, I'm going to be paying attention. Don't rely on this guy, because he could be doing something, he could be distracted, and he might not move when the light's gone green. So I'm going to be paying attention for myself to make sure that I move when it goes to green. Stop pairing the car. Yeah, so now it's going to amber, go to green, and I can make my move. Change on the bend. Practice doing that as well, because it makes sense sometimes. You might want to actually change into a higher gear as you're going into a turn. But if you're not comfortable doing that, then just make the turn first, and then afterwards change gears. So the light's gone green. You see the arrows and the filter light saying to go right. We can only go right. I'm just going to gear down to second to make it easier. Bus is pulling over, so I'm going to check my right mirror to go around him. No need for a signal. Got a police car up ahead with his lights flashing, so there could be an incident there, and there could be parks in the road as well. So I'm just going to go a bit slower, because other cars might be trying to go around him. See that car there? You see? So the police car's parked right in the middle of the road. This car might try to go around him, so I want to be ready for that. Still 30 miles per hour, and I double checked because I saw the signs on that side saying 20, which means this ride is going to be most likely 30, and I don't see any repeater signs for 20. So this person's by the crossing. I'm just going to slow down a bit and carry on, because it's still green. But like I was saying before, if someone's standing by the crossing, it's likely to change quite soon. Got another police car situation up ahead, but this time they're parked fully out of the way. But still want to be a bit careful here, because there could be something going on. Got a bus lane. We've got the arrows telling you there's something up ahead that you shouldn't be in, or you should move over towards the right. And there's a sign there telling us about the bus lane, and it said at any time, which means you can't use it at any time. Even across the road as well, you see the bus lane is still there, still saying the same thing: at any time you can't use it. And then we've got another sign as well telling us the speed limit. So signs will help you driving. Signs will help you with driving a lot. If you can, if you're really bad at signs, maybe dedicate a couple of lessons just purely on working on reading signs, because it's going to help you driving so much. When you first start learning to drive, it's hard to concentrate on the signs and learn how to control the car. So most of the time you will focus on controlling the car first, and then afterwards start looking at the signs. Bearing in mind it's still 30 miles per hour. And we're going to join this road here, and then at the roundabout we're going left first exit, which means I want to aim straight for the left lane. Because if I turn here, then I would have to change lanes. But if I go straight over towards the left lane, it's going to be a lot easier. But as I do that, I need to bear in mind of any buses that might be doing the same thing as me. So right now there's a bus on our left. They might be doing the same thing as well, trying to go to the far left. So you need to keep an eye on that. That light's gone red for them, so I was going to go green. Check my mirror as I'm doing this. I want to go to the far left. Check my mirror again, and then now I can signal left if I'm going left first. You notice I'm stopping in the bus stop here. This is okay. It's not like I'm parking here. I've got no other choice but to stop here. This is part of a lane anyway, so that's why I'm stopping in the bus stop. So don't panic if you get into this situation. This roundabout entrance is controlled by traffic lights, so all I need to worry about is making sure that it's gone to green. Then I can go forward if this guy goes forward as well, and also looking out for anybody who might have missed their red light. But that doesn't happen often, so I'm just going to go through and then have a little glance to my right and then carry on. Answer my signal, checking the speed limit again. It's still 30 miles per hour. Because on this kind of road you can think, oh, it's a dual carriageway, so I need to go faster. Be really careful to make sure you check in what the speed limit is. The light's been green for a while, so check my centre mirror in case I need to brake. But it's okay. And then bus lane again at any time, so you can't use the bus lane. This bus lane used to be different back in the days, and someone actually failed for not using it before because you had different times on it, and the person was in this lane and then somebody undertook them and then they failed because of that. So if you're in a situation where you've got bus lanes and the time is right for you to use it, you should use it if you can. So this person is by the pedestrian crossing. Speed bump there as well. Press the button, check my centre mirror. I'm going to reduce my speed anyway because it's the speed bump there. Once I get here, even if it starts changing, I'm not going to stop. Going past those lights, I can be in the left lane. Then I can see I want to go towards the right, and I can see the left lane is only for turning left. And then there's two lanes I can go towards the right, so I can stick to the left of these two. Slow down a little bit, and then making sure I stick to my side as I go around. Miles per hour. And the next traffic lights. Pedestrian crossing by the traffic light, I'm turning right, so I'm going to check my centre, right mirror, signal right, position myself in this lane, all the way towards the right. I'll keep my signal on for now, just so people behind me know that I'm going towards the right, so they don't stop behind me if they're going straight. Now it's going to green. It's quite a wide lane here. I'm just going to check my mirror to make sure no one's trying to cut in front of me. That person turn So mirror, signal left. These roads are quite bumpy in the way that they've got lots of speed bumps and they're quite rough as well. 20 mile an hour roads. I think I'll do the right reverse over here. So the last few videos I've done lots of parallel parking, so I'll do the right reverse. I'm going to find somewhere to pull over, so just there, mirror, signal right, and then go into the space. Straightening out, clutch down as I'm doing this so that I don't go too fast. Secure the car, and then now the examiner will say when it's safe, you can reverse back 2 car lengths, keeping reasonably close to the pavement. So that's what I'm going to do. Going to reverse, do my check. So this time I do want to look all the way around, including both my blind spots, left and right, and then I'll start reversing when it's safe. So that van is not too close to me, so I can carry on. If it was closer, if it was a smaller road, I would have to wait for him. But for now, I'm going to keep moving using this little mirror. But you notice I'm not just staring at one place, I'm looking everywhere. I'm looking here, looking over there, looking over my right shoulder, looking over this way. You know, don't get tempted to look in one spot. And my clutch control is allowing me to move slowly by bringing the clutch just to the biting point and then down again. The biting point and then down again. If I bring up too high, see the car goes too fast. Too low, the car's not going to go anywhere. But this is about 2 car lengths. If you're not sure whether they've done 2 car lengths or not, just carry on. The examiner will tell you, okay, that's fine. And you're not going to lose any points for that. Right, now it's time to drive on again. So I'm going to check my mirrors, blind spots, checking the front as well. Okay, carry on. If there are people in the way, don't rush towards them. Let them move out the way first and then carry on. Taking the next right, and we've got this cyclist in front of us, so I'm not going to rush to get next to them. I'm just going to check my centre mirror, right mirror, signal right. So I want to be on this side before turning. I don't want to be on the wrong side. Got a pedestrian there, so I'm just going to stop here, let them cross. And once they've crossed, make my turn. Notice I didn't go to the wrong side and then wait there. I waited on my side. And then we've got crossroads here. We've got a giveaway sign, giveaway lines in front of us. Check both sides. Looking good. Carry on. So lots of people fail here because they missed the giveaway lines and they just try to go straight through. You can't do that because it's going to be a serious fault. Checking both sides. It's looking good. Pull over on the left here, so mirror, signal left. And then stop. So normally you go inside the test centre and then they'll give you the results there. But because it's closed off, they're doing refurbishment there, we're going to finish off here. And I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I'm going to do more of this. Tell me what test centre you want to cover next. I might do Tottenham, maybe I'll do maybe Enfield as well. But even if it's further afield, let me know and I'll try to do one of your test centres. But make sure you subscribe for more like this, and I'll see you next time. Bye.